I don't get out of camera.
You don't know what's going to be in the vault. That's what makes it awesome.
Yes! Yes, Mama!
New England Tap Chowder is definitely better.
It's one of the great rivalries in sport. It's New England versus New York, the 6th meeting in Major League Rugby history between these two great rivals. New England lead 4-1 in their head-to-head, having defeated New York twice this season to claim the inaugural Chowder Cup. Davidowitz fires it across field to Waka, puts a little chip on the left boot. Naholo read it superbly. It's play on. Oh, Waka comes flying in with a hit in his opposite number. And they're having a bit of extra action there. It's boiling over here in Quincy.
There is no love lost. That's probably the nicest way I could say it. You may just mention New York and it gets them going.
Hey! You go, I'll get Major. Hey, you know what are you doing next? Hey.
Boston-New York rivalry, I think it's just one of the biggest rivalry in sports. Just two big East Coast cities going at each other. Been around since the early 1900s. Started with baseball, the Red Sox, Yankees, I think really started getting it going.
My parents growing up, like, were huge New York fans. So yeah, whenever we play each other, we're always, you know, talking crap and all that stuff. Growing up with that rivalry, like, it's bragging rights, man. Like, you want to have the upper hand on all your friends and say you have the better team.
Always a battle when New England and New York face off. The questions are, can New England clean up the penalties? And who will be able to recover in time for New York?
Starting with the New York game, you know, that was it's a big rivalry in Boston. We really going into that game, you know, wanting to get on top of New York early in the season and put a statement out there, especially kind of the way our season started. That was a big game. That was a big point to prove for us.
A lot of these players very familiar with themselves. This is one of those big rivalries in sports, and now it's transcended into rugby. Conradi, the Namibian, he is hard as nails.
Hands out! Get your hands out!
And there's Davidowitz. Does he get it in for the second time in 2 weeks? Yes, he does. Cam Davidowitz, the farmer, with the try.
I started working up here when I was probably, I'd say like 6, the youngest. I started working up here, especially a lot in the barn. This barn, a lot of getting stuck at work and long days when everybody else was having fun, doing all that stuff. I was up here grinding away, feeding the cows, doing trouble, sometimes punishment. As long as I could put a wrench in my hand, my dad had me up here working with him, alongside of him, just catching the ropes early, watching along, following along. So it's pretty much as young as I can remember, I was up here doing something at least. If it was throwing hay to the cows, giving my dad a wrench, holding the flashlight, doing all that.
It's awesome living with Cam because he takes me up to his farm quite often, and I got to experience a deeper part of Boston, being able to meet all of his close friends that also grew up in the surrounding areas. It's special to me because I get to experience Bostonians for who they actually are, and I really value that because they're awesome people and they just very genuine, caring people. Yeah, my family support. I mean, they've been doing it since I started. They used to rent school buses and go to all my big games, like state championships and all that. And then when I was in college, they bought the first bus and they would travel to all my big games. They finally upgraded last year to a 30-passenger bus, and they take to all the Free Jacks games now, make the away trips to New York, all the close ones.
Welcome back to Mount Vernon. There are the Free Jacks fans, led by the Davidowitz clan. That's Papa Davidowitz right there with the gloves on. He is pumped up, and he should be. His son just put one in for the visiting New England Free Jacks, and now it's a 5-3 match. Some physical contact between these arch rivals, and here come the Free Jacks again. Did they get it in again? Conradi. They go wide, and uncontested in for the try is Balacana. Paulo Balacana for the try.
And here's that melee over on the sideline. Opposite wings going head-to-head, and then McDonald comes in, helps him out. Fido tossing Mitch Wilson.
Seeing how much passion there was from the guys over here last year and kind of the hurt that they went through at the end of the season, to have that kind of as the motivator for the whole week was awesome, and everyone got around each other and really pushed ourselves to make sure we had a good statement game against New York.
And here come the Free Jacks looking to score right away. The second half, Balacana Did he roll and get it in, or was he held up? And it's a try call by Jack Goal, so it is a try for Balakana on the second and third efforts. And here comes Vanderbank. He got it on the second effort, reaching over. Wayne Vanderbank cashes one in.
And a bonus point for the Free Jacks, and it was only a matter of time. 17 minutes in this half. They've been down here for quite some time. New England's going to walk away with 4 tries, and a win.
To go in and just dispatch them with the likes of Cam Davidowitz, local boys starting at blindside flanker, and we just put on a really brutal performance. Outmuscled them, managed the game really well, and just looked like the better team throughout the whole game, which was really nice.
My question to you today is, I want you to name the coldest, coolest operator in his field. Okay, you can pick a character, you can pick a sportsman, the coolest, coldest executioner in his field.
Liam Neeson from Taken. Because he tells them he's going to find them and kill them, and he goes out and finds them.
We got Walter White from Breaking Bad. Everything's planned. He always comes out on top, even against the Mexican cartel.
Farmer.
Why?
Because he's the best in his field. James Bond, or James Tonga, as he just calls him. He said he's the coolest guy. Like every single movie across them, every time something goes wrong, he still comes out on top. So, he pulls.
We did Val Kilmer from Top Gun, Iceman.
Awesome shit. Wow.
He has ice in his veins and he just shoots down Russians.
Okay, Jack Reacher, Lee Charles. If you read the books, you'll know it's pretty much this guy giving guys the count to 3 the whole movie. Pulled out just from his books, guys, which also struck me as really applicable. Details, evidence gathering, surveillance. It's the base of everything. You've got to settle down and watch long enough and hard enough to get what you need. Destructive. Okay, you saw that clip there. He's calm, he's calculated, he knows what he's doing, he's destructive. Okay, hits first, hits hard, hits them a lot. Lastly, this is my favorite one. Always in his books, like shit happens and it's like someone's chirping and it's like, Reacher said nothing. Remember, they're going to come with a lot of hot emotion, all the shit that happened in the week, okay? But we're going to come with the cool, calm, and ultimately this, boys. Disciplined approach, okay? And all it boils down to, that's what we want to be. Ice in the veins, cold-blooded killers. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, let them worry about all their shit and getting all high emotion. We're just going to be those 2 things.
All right, lads, for those who don't know, we've got a pretty awesome guest here, so thanks, Nate, for being with us. For those who don't know, co-owner of the Free Jacks, pretty awesome story, played rugby, I believe played a couple of years of rugby at Ohio State, obviously a massive footballing school, walked onto the football team, played a couple of years for Ohio State, got drafted by the Patriots, ended up winning the Super Bowl 3 times, I believe, with the Patriots. Has been to the Olympics with USA Sevens in 2016, is that right?
Yep.
And now he's a part of this and driving rugby forward in America, which is pretty awesome. So, mate, thanks heaps for being here. We've got a jersey signed by the boys for you.
Awesome.
So,
thanks, guys.
Cheers.
When I reflect on my rugby career, early 2000s, a young kid coming up playing rugby, there was nothing in the United States other than playing for the national team. If I wanted to do it professionally, I would have had to have gone overseas, and that really wasn't something I wanted to do. So when I think about like just the growth of rugby in this country, I think you need a secure professional league that the young kids aspire to be one day. Not only that, you bring the communities together, and then these pro players can help teach and grow the sport in their communities. So for me, growing up, not having those things, and then having the opportunity to come in and be a part of the Free Jacks and the MLR, and this was the real deal, especially after my experience in the NFL, seeing how we've kind of done things. I just saw it as a great opportunity in itself, but obviously with my past and what it means to have a pro league in rugby in this country, from what I've had, that was something I didn't want to miss out on, and I feel fortunate to be a part of it.
I don't have a lot to say. I mean, I heard the theme of the week is kind of ice in the veins and stuff, but you know, as a professional, which you guys all are, it's about consistency. It's about day in, day out. It's about in the moment, being extremely present, whether that's in this training session as a walkthrough preparing for the game, or if it's tomorrow in the moment, every moment that comes up and every week that comes up. And that's how you build a team that wins every week. But it's about being present in the moment and being consistent. And that's what being a professional is just never having that lapse mentally or just emotionally to just give in. And I think with kind of what you guys have going on this week, you know, that's something I always leaned into as a professional, was just how consistent can I be? What is my standard?
Well, when Nate made the Olympics, I think that's when like rugby started to become like a Massachusetts state sport in high school. So I think it really started this huge thing, you know, like rugby wasn't really popular in high school when I was growing up. We were busting in hours to games just to play. And then he goes and makes this huge transition from football to rugby, and you see an actual New England Patriots player going to play in the Olympics. I think it just has a huge catalyst to where rugby is now in the state of Massachusetts. To actually have owners like Pat and Nate is really cool. Those guys are rock stars to me, man. So it's pretty cool to have those interactions with them. I mean, growing up watching them on TV all the time, it's pretty cool, special, you know.
What we got, man? Tell me.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
That's how they break down.
The Chowder Cup. 9th all-time meeting between New York and New England. The Free Jacks having won 5 of the previous 8 matchups. So Mark, we will see. Is it going to be Manhattan or New England clam chowder on this blustery day that reigns supreme?
Well, you can either have Manhattan chowder or you can have New England clam chowder. New England clam chowder is definitely better.
I think we say it every week, but it's more important today against New York in this kind of conditions, right? We get our standards well, we set them up, we take their ball, we win our ball. Everything flows out of the set piece today. Let's gold standards and let's put these guys on the pump.
Easy, eh? Cool. Let's get into our work, eh? Start building into it, get some confidence here.
Simple and direct. Let them make mistakes, we'll be there.
Kicking game's crucial in days like this, eh?
Yeah.
So that means we don't need a rush. We just kick on our terms. We need extra ruck. Better to take it and rush your kick, and we don't get a good result.
Yep. Unison, baby.
New York understands the importance of getting the victory on the road, but that is not easy to do here at Fort Quincy, where the Free Jacks a perfect 4-0 this season. Scott Matthew has his team plugging along. Now McClay. Back to Platros, crossfield kick. Has a man, Balakana. Across and down, and it's the Free Jacks. 5.5 minutes in, finding the opening 5. Paula Balakana.
The weather seems to be, well, not even a factor with plays like that. Platros still with the confidence to put it on the boot. Then some clever footwork from Balakana, which we've seen so often. He is a potent attacking weapon for this New England team.
The second effort still just short. The third across, waiting for the signal. Was it held up? It was by New York.
How are they staying alive at this point? Only 5 points conceded, as you mentioned, Kit. It's been all New England with the territory, with the possession, battering away at this New York try line.
Pretty dark and gloomy day here in New England. It really sets the scene for that Boston versus New York rivalry. The physicality is certainly going to be brought today from those two teams.
Sonny Reeve across and down. Hold on. He may have been held up. And that would be the second time in as many goes that New York has been able, and there's the confirmation. Another impressive job defensively from the Ironworkers.
Incredible. New York just refusing to give up any more points at this stage. The drive was superb, well executed. They've been knocking on the door, New England.
Joining me now, Olympian, USA Eagle, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots, and minority owner for the Free Jacks, Nate Ebner. Nate, first of all, a typical Boston day to welcome you in.
Yeah, definitely. It had to rain and be kind of chilly, but you know, we thrive in that, and you know, it's good for the home team.
It sure is. Nate, you've experienced the highs and lows of sport on the field. Now in an ownership capacity, how are you enjoying that different angle looking over the sport?
It's definitely different because you want to get out there and play and do what you can to help, but you got to find a different angle to try to provide some type of benefit to the team, to the franchise, and ultimately you get to sit back and watch the guys do their thing and just try to put them in the best position to succeed. And you know, it's been interesting, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I wish I was out there playing for sure. So
maybe one day, never say never. I'd love to see it. Nate Ebner, go get warm. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Where the Free Jacks, this is the fewest points they've scored all season. Not in a loss, but the fewest points in a victory, as Potros sends this one out. But it will be enough. A battle against the elements. And New England able to hold on for the shutout victory in the Chowder Cup. The Free Jacks stay unbeaten at home. They secure the victory at home, move to 8-2, and they remain tops in the Eastern Conference.
I think a massive thing that went right today, our discipline was great, eh? We spoke about that, we nailed it today. Really good shit. We were also destructive, okay? Big hits. It's something special to give the team one of these, eh? All right, so awesome shit, guys.
Where our offices are and where our headquarters is in a massive old, pretty much bank building. In the depths of this bank building, there were a few old rusted vaults. And we kind of wanted something that we could use as so each week there would be like key performance things that the team would need to achieve in order to open said vault. And inside the vault would be a prize.
Play the video.
Yeah.
Sports.
What's up, boys? Congratulations on opening the vault for the first time this season. We're excited. Let's keep the winning ways going. The Bobette family is excited to take you guys back to Fenway Park. We're going to a Red Sox game May 2nd. Congratulations. Let's keep those winning ways going. Free Jacks, let's ride.
The vault was started last year by Mike Rogers. Every week we have a challenge that we have to do within the game. And if we get the challenge, we get to open up the vault, and there's a unreal prize in the vault. We got Bose headphones one time. We're going to a Red Sox game. The last vault we opened, we got to go on the duck boats around Boston.
Nice! Wow!
You don't know what's going to be in the vault. That's what makes it awesome. There's been some rumors of iPads, MacBooks going into the vault. It gives us an extra drive to achieve our goals, and it's always obviously rugby orientated to the specific team we might be facing in the week. So it's just exciting to be able to come into a Monday morning meeting knowing you're going to open the vault. It's awesome. Yeah.
Oh! Competition is really everything that's woven into who we are.
To see some supporters come out and at 1 o'clock in the morning to greet me at the airport, it's pretty amazing.
I don't want this in the documentary.
The mini team competition is incredible. I mean, it just keeps us going.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Dub for the Bucks. On to the next.